How does the Quran get translated? What methods are used, and how do we make sure that what we're reading is closest to the original? The first method is a purely literal word-by-word approach. A translator will look at the words in Arabic one by one and translate them into their English counterparts. Now, this is often done to preserve the purity of the text. Now, this does do away with the potential for introducing new information that might not be associated. We're only using the text of the Quran to translate from. But the issue can be is we can have misunderstandings from these kinds of translations, and also can be quite difficult for readers to approach. The next way is a free translation. This is when translators freely use secondary sources, like maybe historical context, to translate the text of the Quran. Now, text in these kind of translations are a lot easier to read, but the issue is the reader might associate this extra context as being part of the original text. So these are more like tafsirs than translations of the Quran. The last approach is a bit more moderate and probably more familiar to a lot of readers, is a sentence by sentence approach. The translator will look at the whole sentence and what meaning it's trying to convey and convey that whole sentence into English. This creates for a much easier read, much easier flow, but you can still lose some of that extra depth that you would get. Now, with any translation, it's impossible to remove all bias and get the full depth of the meaning of the original. But I recommend to do two things just to make sure that you're staying as close as you can. Now, number one, compare the translation you might be reading to a word-by-word translation. Have a look at how your translator might have approached the text. Are they taking more liberty in adding additional context, or are they translating it very directly? That's going to help you as well start to understand how the Arabic language is structured and how the interpreter has processed that. And if you want more depth, I really recommend having a look at something like the Study Quran. This is something like a tafsir that has lots of comments from a range of scholars, and that's going to help you get that depth which is really going to be missing from a translation. And of course, the ultimate solution will be just to try to get more familiar with the Arabic language over time. It's definitely a journey, but worthwhile.